Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Dairoku, just continuing where we left off, so still on the common route, but getting Akuro's route. Anyway, but so we were at the map section, and of course, we choose Akuro. That's the whole point here. Yes! Cool. Cool. Dude, I don't know what my problem is today. Just ignore me. Lacquer trap. As I was on my usual rounds in Makatsui. I thought I was walking on a normal road when I felt my feet stick to the ground as if I had stepped into a swamp of some kind. Huh? What? In my surprise, I checked the back of my shoes, but my pumps wouldn't budge from the ground. Seems I can't get out without taking off my shoes, and then your feet get stuck, and then then you have to take your pantyhose off, and then you have to take your actual skin off. This is going to be painful. Let me guess. Who did this? Come on out. I called out to the culprit of the prank, who I was sure was hiding out somewhere watching me. And then Nurakabe? I don't know if that's a person or a type of Ayakashimori.
Sorry about that. We're doing some repairs.
What I thought was a prank seemed to actually be the ground going under repairs. I'm sorry. I hadn't noticed the sign.
Oh, don't worry. I got here after hearing those holes opened. Guess the sign was hard to spot.
I see. It's just, sorry to bother you, but I can't get my shoes out. I felt the ground harden around my feet. I could have just taken my shoes off, but it would cause even more problems if my feet ended up the same way, so I didn't move, right? Are you alright?
Akuro!
No! I look like an idiot! Who's pranking me? He's like, you don't know how to read signs, lady. And she's like, touche. Seeming to have been passing by chance, Akuro came up to my side. God damn it, why do my fucking cards keep falling off my shelf? Aww. God damn it, where'd it go? Fuck. It's probably behind my thing. Oh, I'm sorry, but I just noticed it. It's gonna drive me crazy. Where the hell did it go? What the fuck? It's missing. They're sticky taped to my freaking shelf. But then they pop off and then they slide behind my thing and I can't even see it. The hell did it end up going? Did it? Oh god, there it is. God damn it. I'm gonna break something. I have to get it or otherwise I'm gonna forget that it's hiding back there and then I'm gonna wonder what the fuck happened. So hold on, let me just lean back behind the TV. But I got my headset on. And if I scream for help, call someone. Call my mommy. I'm fine. I got it. Did you come here to play games or watch me do this bullshit? It drives me crazy because every other one of these motherfuckers sticks up except for this bitch. Why does this motherfucker not want to stick when everything else does? Drives me crazy. All right, well, you're gonna go up here on the wall then. And now that section of the wood is not going to have a thing, and it's going to look stupid. Everyone else stays up, but you! Bastard! Anyway. Now it's uneven. Anyway. Seeming to have been passing by chance, Akuro came up to my side, and now we look like an idiot. Well, that's right. So you're stuck in Norakabe's construction work.
Sir, I did put out the sign warning about the construction.
I wasn't paying enough attention. It appears to already be hardening, but is there any way to get her out, Norakabe?
Sorry, but that'd take a while.
I see. And then it can't be helped. I'll have to ask you to give up on your shoes. Why would you hurt me like this? Huh? Please excuse me. Oh! Our first CG! Oh, how cute! He is picking us up like a child. We are like a child. A child's doll. We're not even a child. We are toddler size compared to this man. He could just boop, pick us up. He's not even straining. Look at this shit. This is just you're okay, hi, what are you, 8 feet tall? How the hell? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. He's, like, gigantic, apparently. And very strong. He's strong. Anyway. Without warning, Akuro lifted me up. It was as if I was a child again, carried easily within a single arm of his. Yeah. Even, like, again, you're more like a child's doll. You're like, What? Wait, Akuro! Suddenly, I felt a sense of being suspended in the air. I panicked and couldn't find my balance. Please hang on tightly. Let us go to Tamamo's store. There will be a tire for women there for you.
Sorry about that. I'll be sure to put out a real big sign next time. Dumbass.
He didn't say dumbass, but I'm sure he's thinking that. Afraid of being yelled at by Akuro, Nurikabe bows awkwardly over and over toward him. Wait, so are my shoes just gonna stay in that road forever? And also, being carried like this all the way over, I just can't. I'll be okay on my bare feet. I can walk by myself. I can't allow that. It'd be dangerous if you were to step on something, right? Some children left caltrops scattered, which could cause trouble for Oboroguruma taxis. I had them clean it up, but it's possible there's some left. Uh-huh. He wasn't as close as when he lifted my chin up and gazed at my face. Really? How close was he then? Because, like, here he's like 2 inches from you. But Akuro's face, right in front of me, was calm and serene and didn't seem the least bit bothered by my weight. It really feels like I'm a kid again. Although the Oboroguruma fly through the air and caltrops would do nothing to them, but they must be mimicking something they saw somewhere. I felt faint from the intense embarrassment. I couldn't actually let myself be carried all the way to Tamamo's store. It really is fine. I can use a transportation spell to get to Kikutsune, so... It's off limits for trivial use, so I'd have to write a report, but I had a good enough reason. It was either that or let Akuro carry me the whole fucking way. Yeah, no. You're like, either way, Sammy is gonna give me shit for this for eternity. The scenery shook as Akuro walked off, and I immediately grabbed what was in front of me, which happened to be Akuro's neck. It happened even after I focused on not being too physically close to him just now. But there was virtually no space between us, and I could feel his body temperature, cool to the touch, and the hardness of his chest. I mean, you're unexpectedly forward. I am not trying to be. What? No, I'm sorry. Part of me even wanted to tear myself off him and jump down, but he was so strong I couldn't do so even if I wanted to. Oh no, I'm giving him the wrong impression. I was finally just starting to be able to converse with him normally, and now I messed it all up because of this. What? I'm sorry. That was a joke. Huh? Akuro can make jokes like this? That was so mean. I've been surprised by everything happening ever since I got stuck in the Nurikabe's repairs. But what is this feeling? Oddly, it's not really... Yes? I like it when you smile. See things from your height. I like it when you... See things from your height is an awkward sentence. I like it when you smile, to be freaking dead honest with you. Akuro, I like seeing your smile. I said the words before I realized it. Though there are so many more things I needed to say first before saying that. Things like wanting to be put down, or that I was fine using the teleportation spell I didn't get to earlier. But I think Akuro's smiling face just looked so wonderful, it made me simply forget all of that. Really? Then you are thinking the same thing I am. Akuro spoke matter-of-factly, like his usual self. And then he looks up into the sky. Oh, good. An Oboroguruma came for us. Let's go to him. Huh? Did he just say that he likes it better when I'm smiling too? His eyes look like olives. Just... It literally just popped up and I was like, his eyes look like olives, and I just had to tell you that so that you can't unsee it either. They do, because they're like, but there's just something, I mean, they're not quite as green as olives, but then the red looks like pimento, and it just, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to eat olives now without being like, we're eating Akudo's eyes. Now I want olives, but his eyes are olives. Anyway, I was so surprised I missed my chance to reply. Although Akudo showed no signs of concern about getting a response back. I think I'm starting to understand that maybe Akudo might have this particular side of him too. A part of him that makes others around him excited, even though he doesn't intend to. Are you alright, Spacey? Yes? Oh gosh. I wanted to see that calm, gentle expression on Akudo's face a little while longer, but in the end I was too embarrassed and looked away. Map 2. I assume we're gonna Kikutsune. Sammy's face! It's this chibi face all the time, but I also think it's like, your shoes got stuck in the road and Akudo had to carry you. I just right now. There we go. Drag. On my day off, Kikutsune to have tea. It sure was fun talking with Tomo today. Wait. I could just go take a look at the during my rounds. They'd say this shouldn't be the same. It's like, I feel like this is usually, if we come to Kikutsune, no matter who we meet, because I'm like, I feel like this happened before, but we didn't choose Akudo before, so. Considering I couldn't do any shopping while on duty, it was nice to look around on my days off. Still, it's too bad Kinka couldn't come by today. She said she'd already made plans. Oh. Ahead of me stood Yakumo in front of a sweet shop with a Nekomata as its owner. He looked like a deer in headlights. He was like, what do I do? What a coincidence to see him here. Olive Sammy's squad is off today, so maybe he's out here on a walk. Maybe he had plans with Kinka. I do like the fact that at least in Shiratsuki's route, Kinka was like, I'll be your Shikigami! And like, even though she's never gonna date Yakumo, he had for a moment a brief bit of hope, and I just felt good for him. Okay. Look, it's fine. This is one instance, girl, where you can have one of the men in the game. Because, like, I like Yakumo, but, like, I'm not into Yakumo like that. You're like, Yakumo, you're my pal. I hope you and Kinka, it's great. Not one of my boyfriends or one of my side pieces. Like, listen, Tomomo, we're going to have a talk with you and the chief, okay? But at the same time, there's something about it that I'm like, I'm not really jealous of it, because, like, I kind of want to be Tomomo. So anyway. Yakumo... As I was trying to call out to him, something cold covered my mouth. Not even having time to express my surprise, I was pulled into the shadows of buildings. Sensing danger, I struggled to try and throw off the arm that was holding me to see... Please relax. It is me. I was wondering for a second, I'm like, is it Akudo kidnapping us? Why is he kidnapping us? But like, this is kind of sexy. He's just like, shh, shh. You're like, hi. Well, I get forward. You're a little friendly. You're always touching me. And I'm not saying I don't like it, because I do. A lot. Okay, I like it a lot. Huh? Akudo? In case you didn't know, there's a CG. Did I not say that? I try to point them out to you, but I kind of, like, forgot in this instance, so CG time in case it wasn't obvious. Like, I don't think I mentioned it. Anyway. Huh? Akudo? Though the hold on me loosened a bit, my mouth was covered as I looked up into the familiar face. Why are you trying to make me avoid Yakumo? I apologize for being rough on you. I simply held you so you wouldn't make a sound, so I will let go now. After hearing his whispers, still not knowing what was going on, I nodded, and his hands released me. Against my will, his hands released me. I apologize, and the situation required I do so. It's fine, but what's going on? Oh, Ibaraki's the one. Okay, right. I was like, wait, which one's which again? Just take a look at that.
I think it's about to happen.
Thinking it was just Akuro alone, I see that Shuten and Ibaraki were in the shadows as well. Take a look. It's about to happen. I look toward the direction they gestured at. Yakumo was waiting. They're like, don't talk to him. You're going to distract him. Like, shh, 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 shh. Yakumo and Kinka. Oh my god, I love this. Or are they all like, we want them to hook up so bad. Oh! I don't know if that's what's happening, but I'm going to pretend. Anyway. Mew! Oh, Yakumo! You're already here? Oh, Kinka! Good evening! Don't you good evening me, Mew! Did I get our meeting time wrong, Mew? The watch you gave me says 15 more minutes, Mew! Well, I just wanted to see you as soon as I could, so I just came here a bit early. Huh? Wait, are those two about to go on a date?
Yep, after hearing about it from Yakumo, I was just dying waiting for today.
We asked around who thought they'd actually become a couple and were taking bets.
Excuse me? Hey, you're too loud. What do we do if Yakumo catches us, huh?
Says the guy who's screaming at me, but that's just because that's the personality I gave him, so... You're pretty loud yourself, but I think we're fine. Kinka and Yakumo haven't noticed, it seems.
Nice, but it's looking good. The fact that Kinka came earlier than promised means she wanted to see Yakumo as soon as she could too, right?
We can't be sure. It might have been by accident. So, Shuten, you think they'll become a couple today, and Ibaraki, you think they won't? Exactly. The two of them, enjoying every bit of this, look back toward Yakumo and Kinka. I kind of want Shuten to be right, but I feel like Ibaraki's going to be right just because they've never become a couple before. But I actually love that, like, the Yakumo Kinka thing is in the background on all the fucking rounds. like, it's so cute. And you're like, I want it to happen too. I'm here to romance all these hot dudes, but I'm still, like, rooting for these two. Because for, like, us, for you as the MC when you're playing, you're like, we're totally gonna hook up with Akuro. Like, it's not a question. Like, that's the whole point of this fucking game, right? So there's no, like, mystery about it. Like, ooh, is it gonna happen? We know. We just don't know when, we know by the end. You don't know, like, he could kiss me right now, and then you're like, I didn't see that coming. I figured we'd be, like, chapter 4. You know what I mean? But, like, with characters like Yakumo and Kinka, you're like, wait, are we getting a little side piece romance? This is so cute! And it just... it's a little exciting. Now when the bitch is trying to steal one of my men, okay, then it's like, I don't want this. Look, we've played other games where that has happened. Don't take my side piece, okay? I mean, I know that they're not in the man harem, but they were gonna be, but then you took them away, and like, that's very complicated, okay? So, like, if I was like, I love Yakumo, why can't we date Yakumo? I might not like this, but I don't want to date Yakumo. He's just my bro. And, like, Tokiwa is only my boy because he's voiced by Jun Fukuyama. So, like, that's the only reason I'm in love with him. Although he is kind of, like, a sus bitch, and I kind of like that, too. But, like, so I can't really be mad he used to do Tamamo, because, like, bro, if I were you, same. I'm not into chicks, like, at all. But, like, if I was, yeah, Tamamo's hot. So, like, so I can't really blame him there. Plus, that's the past, and that's fine. Like, the present, you're just part of maybe the man harem group. We'll see. But anyway. I have a bet alongside Shuten that they'll become a couple. Would you like to partake as well? I think it's very funny that Akuro's actually betting on this. He seemed like too serious, and then how he's like, oh! You're so cute! Stop! No way, even Akuro's participating? You shouldn't bet on things like this. You're really curious about this. I hope... Oh, we have to be a spoil sport. I don't want to be a spoil sport. You shouldn't be doing this. You can't go betting on whether someone's love will go well or not. Why not? I mean, they're just like... Sorry, I had to fix something. For me going to reaching and now everything's... Things bother me. Look, I'm one of those people when something is bothering me, I need to fix it. Or if I'm like, ooh, I need to do this. I need to do it now. Not later, now. I don't know. But anyway. I could understand a bit better if it was just Shuten and Ibaragi, but you too, Akudo? Why didn't you stop them? Why? Akudo cranes his neck over quizzically. I remember Akudo's talk about how humans have their own circumstances, as do Ayakashi. Maybe this is a difference in perspectives. I'm not sure they'll understand if I don't explain. I also am curious about the two of them. I want Yakumo and Kinka to be happy together. Though, having said that, I believe it'd be rude to subject the two of them to a game like this. Akudo's face right now was like, what the fuck? You're taking away our fun. Like always, Akudo looked at me as if I were some strange creature. To him you kinda are. Maybe that didn't get through to him. Does this idea only apply to humans? I thought you'd be the one to stop them, but you said before that Ayakashi loved fun, so I suppose it was a bit difficult to do so. Honestly, how Ayakashi act depend on individual natures, so I didn't think he'd listen to me. However, I didn't really try to convince him too much, though it still didn't feel good having Yakumo and Kinka the subject of their bet. If Akudo won't say anything, then I have to. I faced the two Ayakashi watching excitedly over Yakumo and Kinka, but before I could address them...
Shuten, Ibaragi, and tell everyone that the bet is off.
Oh, he listened to us! Okay, but like... I mean, I feel like I'm not necessarily sure I agree with us. I mean, I do and I don't. It's kind of like, guys, what the fuck? You wouldn't want somebody betting on your love life, especially if they find out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, if it doesn't go well, and then Ibaragi's over there like, hi, I won $20, man. He's like, thanks. Like, Yakumo's gonna feel like shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like even if Shuten won and like they become a couple, he's like, yeah, I bet $20 that you guys would go together. You'd be like, you don't want them to find out. Like, you'd feel like shit if someone was betting on your love life. Like, if your friends were like, oh, I told Tom I knew he was gonna ask you out, like whatever, that's different. Then like, I bet Tom $20 he was gonna ask you out and I won $20, bitch, what? You'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But if your friends are doing it and you don't know, fine, whatever. Do whatever you want behind my back. I don't care. You know? So, like, I guess I get it. But at the same time, it's like, just don't let them find out. It's fine. Like, it's not your place to judge what the Ayakashi are doing and enforce your human morality on them. You know what I mean? In certain stances. Like, you can't just kill people because you were bored. Like, feel like that, like, but... they're betting on King. I mean, it's not really the betting, it's the spying part. Like, we're all sitting here, but I'm like, shut up and just spy with everyone else. I want to know what's going on. Look, I'm in the middle, okay? Anyway. Akudo, I was surprised at his words, since it seemed like I had to give up on him.
Bro?
No, this is a great chance for us to get a bunch of high-grade sake, though.
We can simply hold a game tournament soon and make that the prize. Go on and tell everyone now. Fine! Stupid human!
I get it. As Akudo asked them gently, yet firmly, Shuten and Ibaragi leave in defeat. Are you sure?
Yes. More importantly, I apologize.
I'm sorry, too, for having to ruin everyone's fun after butting in. I actually felt bad being apologized to, considering I got my way.
I made my bet as an offering in the hopes they would succeed, but it was tactless, as you say.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know what your intentions were. You're like, see, that's kind of nice, though.
No, and don't worry. I heard so much about this from Yakumo, and seeing him so excited made me want to cheer him on.
He did something weird because he was trying to be nice. Shut up, and we made him feel bad about it. Girl, we're an asshole. Yakumo came to you for romantic advice, Akudo? My eyes widened at the unexpected connection. He's like, what? You think I know how to, like, freaking talk to ladies? Girl, I had you swooning when I picked you up. Right, actually. You had me swooning with your kitty cat figures. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, I had you swooning the second I showed up on the screen. Kinda, yeah, I didn't expect it, to be fair. You know? Let me pull out the case. Move, hammer. I have a hammer sitting on top of it. Okay, it's not what it sounds like. It's a little hammer that looks like a shoe. My mom got it for me because, like, you know, there's a whole joke. Oh, women's hammer is their high heel shoe. Because, like, a woman doesn't know how to use a motherfucking hammer. Shut the fuck up, sexist assholes. Anyway. So it's actually a little hammer, but it's shaped, it looks like a shoe. My mom thought it was funny because I like shoes and, you know, ha ha ha. So it's sitting here. It was sitting on top of my Switch games. Yeah, because, like, when I looked at the back, honestly, Sammy was the one that I fell in love with first. I'm not gonna lie. And he was the one that I fell in love with from the back of the case. But, like, definitely, a shoe is never going to be my type. I can just tell you that right now. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he might have a great route, but he's not going to be my type. But I didn't expect to like Akudo as much as I do. Because he's just not the character I expected he was going to be. You know what I mean? He's got a certain look to him, and then you're like, you're actually, like, friggin' squishy soft. I love it. Wait, stop. Like, I don't know. I like him more than I expected. I figured, like, oh, he'll probably have, like most of them have, oh, it's a good route. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just not like, oh my god, I love you. You know what I mean? But no. He showed up on fucking screen, and I was like, nope, I kind of love him. What the hell? When did this fucking start? Yeah. So I have high expectations for his route at the end. You know what I mean? Anyway. He didn't so much come to me for advice, but, but he was there when I was drinking with Tokitsugu. Yakumo doesn't hold his drink well, so he got tipsy quite quickly and was talking about Kinka the whole time. Huh. I think I can imagine the scene. Yes. Yakumo talking about Kinka, Sammy teasing him while still actually listening carefully, and Akudo simply watching over the two of them. Akudo really is kind, compared to how he looks on the outside. Although I was occasionally nervous around him. Oh! As we were talking, Kinka and Yakumo, who were talking outside just earlier, were being shown into the sweet shop. I sure hope it goes well for them. Me too! I couldn't help but think so as I watched the two of their faces laugh and smile with each other. I love this scenario right now that, like, we're hanging out with Akudo, we're, like, hiding behind a building, like, peeking out, like, oh my god, I hope they get together and so cute. I love this. I like this moment. It's not my favorite moment, because I think my favorite is seeing his kitty cat figures. You're like, what? Stop! I think that's going to be, like, the best moment. But it's up there, okay? Yes, I as well. Watching until we could no longer see them, Akudo and I smiled quietly at each other, and this is where our love starts to bloom a little bit more. Our love has started to bloom the second I saw his cat figures. You know, because that was different. He was like, you want to see my kitty cat figures? Hold on. Event? Question mark? After saying goodbye to Shiratsuki, which is funny because we didn't see Shiratsuki at all. So, it's funny. But this is our normal, like, oh, there they are! Oh, Shiratsuki and Coco, Tamamo and Kinka. Oh, Takao, I miss you. Like, Hira was a good route, but Takao kind of stole the show from him. Oh, I love Takao. I just love how I read his personality. Just being like, yeah, Hira's kind of a dick. What the fuck, Hira? Sometimes I just want to yell, and I get to do it when we play these games. Anyway, we are going to check with Akudo. Check with Akudo. I headed to Makatsui so I could consult with Akudo about it. As luck would have it, I ran into him as he was on his rounds. I told him everything. I just love the fact that he shows up and he looks like he's going to be like, it's this face, because this is the first face you see when you see him too in the game, and you're like, oh, you're going to be that, and then he's like, you want to see my kitty cat figures? What? Never going to get over it. As a gift for Shu. I really don't know him at all, so I feel my advice may not be very useful to you. Oh, that's right, I forgot this is what we're doing. This is not the event. Well, yes, but also no. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure it'd be better than anything I'd come up with myself. I figured any suggestions from you would be helpful.
I see. Well, never have I met an Ayakashi who hates alcohol. Why don't you get him some sake?
Sake, huh? I tried to picture Shu in my mind. He looks so young, but if you think about what all the other Ayakashi enjoy, there's a good chance he has a taste for sake. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that. I wonder if he'd like real world sake though.
Good point. I've indulged in it before. I thought I had a good tolerance for drink, but I admit, it made me feel quite toasty.
I see. Well, maybe getting him sake he's not used to isn't the greatest idea for a gift, is it? As I contemplated an alternative, Akudo similarly fell deep into thought, then finally spoke.
What if you take him sake from Sakuratani, but also some real-world snacks to pair with it? I'm certain your appreciation will be clear.
Oh, what a great idea! I'll go see Tamamo at her store right away. Thank you, Akudo! I felt bad for keeping him, so I thanked him and turned to leave when Akudo placed his hand on my shoulder. He is very touchy. I like it, I'm just saying.
Oh, one moment. I believe we have a better selection in Makatsui rather than at Tamamo store. Why don't I show you?
Huh? Are you sure? That'd be so nice. Thank you so much.
Then let's be going. It isn't very far.
Hey, this is where Hajun was drinking on my first day. I haven't been here since Akudo brought me that last time.
And the people of Makatsui love sake, and the best distilleries of Sakuratani are here.
Wow, there are so many choices! Sake bottles and barrels line the entire place, leaving me feeling quite overwhelmed. The way they were arranged in such an orderly fashion made them seem like treasures on display.
You should always treasure your liquor, okay? And have a taste of this.
Huh? And then we get...
Oh no! No, girl, don't do it. It's a trap. This is where Spacey gets drunk. Probably told this story, but my sister and I were going to this brunch place one time. So we got there and it was like, oh, it's like an hour wait or whatever. So we're like, okay, cool, whatever. We're gonna go. We'll just wander down, the little side streets or whatever. So we're walking down and then we go to like the wine store. And it's like local wines or whatever, right? So we're going in there. I'm like, oh, okay, this is fun. We can get some fun, fruity, like whatever wines, right? So, well, they're always like, oh yeah, and they give you little samples. We missed our thing for brunch. And I got so drunk on the samples because we were just drinking so many different wines. So many. I think I left with like 6 or 8 bottles. Girl, don't do the samples. You're gonna get drunk so fast because you're just drinking them. You're like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that one's good. Oh my god, this is fun. And then you're having fun in the wine store with the shots, the sample shots. And then the next thing you know, you're like, it's been 2 hours. I guess we don't need brunch. Let's just go home. Wine goes to my head very fast. I am very sad because I miss the bottomless mimosas. I like mimosas. Anyway, huh? Pickled fruit from the snowfields of Makatsui. This is a recommended pairing for the sake, so I thought you should try it out. On the small plate Akuro offered to me, there were some small red fruits about the size of olives. I'm sorry, that's just weird that I said his eyes look like olives, and then we're talking about olives. Fruit can grow in harsh weather like this? And it's pickled? I wonder what it tastes like. Pickles? Thank you. I felt excited to try this mysterious food and carried the toothpick to my mouth. Then, wow, it's sweet and salty. Huh? But it tastes like meat. Precisely. Tokitsugu said it's similar to your yakitori. That's fruit that tastes like yakitori? Yes. You're like, I am eating my fruit, but it doesn't taste like I'm eating my fruit. That's what I wish vegetables taste like. I want vegetables to taste like candy, but then you have to load them up with like so much freaking shit that you'd be like, then I'm essentially just eating sugar. Like, he's totally right. The fruit tasted a lot like yakitori with a flavorful sauce. It's absolutely delicious. Anyone would want more sake after having some of this. Chugs the bottle. Of course, one wasn't enough for me either, and I popped a second one in my mouth as Akuro nodded approvingly. I'm delighted you found them enjoyable. Would you like to try a little sake as well? Right now? If I ordered some food, they'd let me sample some sake, but I really didn't feel hungry. We don't have to order food here. We can go back to Azuchi Castle for the sake. Some people open the bottles there without asking anyway, so it's not unusual. What do you say? Wait, is he inviting me to drink at his place? Girl! The look on his face is like, yeah. The look on his face is so shady. Of course, I'm really just sampling it for Shu, and I'm sure Nakuro has no other intentions. But if he did, I might be okay with that. So, like, just in case you were thinking and you have ulterior motives, I consent. Like, I'm telling you now. Should I agree to this? Yes! I assumed you weren't too busy with work, so I thought a drink might be permissible. But would you rather not do that? That's not it. I do appreciate the offer. If it's not any trouble, I'd love to drop by. I'd feel bad if I refused his offer, so I decided to accept. Let's get some snacks then. Akuro stopped the Kuni, who was working, and asked them to wrap up a few different snacks, including the pickled fruit we had just eaten. That was surprising. If some random guy who wasn't an Ayakashi invited me, I don't think I would have agreed to it so quickly. I mean, if it's Akuro, I might. But then again, he's not some random guy, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's not just because he's an Ayakashi. Maybe I just feel safe with Akuro. Yeah, exactly. Because again, he's not some random guy. If some random guy who wasn't an Ayakashi, you probably wouldn't be in this situation. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have asked a random person, hey, random dude I've never met before, could you recommend sake for some stranger you don't know? And then they're like, come back to my place. You'd be like, oh, wow, no, I'm getting murdered. Like, no, right? But you know Akuro, you trust him. Chances are you're not going to get murdered. You don't know that, okay? Because you just never know. You're like, Akuro, he's trustworthy, that's fine. And then the next thing you know, you go to his house and you get murdered. I mean, that's what happens, right? Because there's always somebody you know. Like, but like, chances are, like, you're probably fine. Maybe. I don't know. You know what? Don't trust people. Lock yourself in the house. Don't ever talk to another human being again. It's safer. Akuro is always so careful, always looking out for people. He might seem intimidating at first, but I have no doubt that he's a kind Ayakashi. I mean, yeah. Akuro and I departed the store with our snacks as thoughts continued to circle my mind. This one's delicious too. He poured a little bit into my sake cup to let me try a third sample. The one you just had is on the spicy side, but you seem to tolerate it well. In the real world, we've got sake on the sweeter side, but I've never had a chance to try so many different varieties before. They're really tasty, and I feel like on the hot side is like when you have the habanero or jalapeno frickin' whiskey or some shit. You're like, that stuff is so good. I like it. I don't know how similar to Japanese sake this is, but it's definitely a far cry from Western alcohol. Some were clear, like a high-grade refined sake. Some were amber, and some were golden. Ayakashi have no physical need to quench their thirst or feed a hunger. However, they do enjoy the buzz they get from drinking sake. A fine sake delivers a wonderful feeling, so some Ayakashi even started their own distillery to brew the ultimate sake. Sake is the same in the real world, a luxury. The sake in Japan and all other types of alcohol get better every year. It's the same, is it? I can see that. Perhaps they are similar. Oh. It's nothing. Was I seeing things? I thought he was smiling at me. I didn't really expect to see that from him, so it took me by surprise. We have a few more to try, but I'm afraid you might be at your limit, so maybe we should call it for today. Akuro started to pick up the sake cups that were on the table and put them on a serving plate. For today? You might not run into Shu for a while. No need to rush it. I doubt you'd want to walk everywhere with a sake bottle under your arm either. He was right. I hardly saw Shu. If I choose a sake now, who knows when I'd see him next. I had a gift for you! And I get a different sake every day, but I never see you, so I drink it. And it here is half empty. Like, you just drink it on your rounds. I only tried a few kinds, so maybe it was too soon to decide on what my gift was going to be. Also, I really didn't want to get drunk again. The sake was deceptively smooth. This could lead to another welcome party experience. You should drop by for more samples tomorrow. Oh, but keep this a secret from Tokitsugu. What? I have more sake I'd like to introduce you to, but if Tokitsugu hears of it, he'll want to come, and I'm sure it'll be more than a tasting. He's like, don't tell him because he gonna want to tag along, and like, hell no, girl, I want you to myself. Right. Smart. Although, in the middle of that man sandwich, yes, thank you. Akuro, did you just smile again? His expression was so stoic that I wasn't actually sure if he was smiling or not. But Akuro did seem more relaxed than before, so I'm sure he was having as much fun as I was. Okay. Stop him. Okay, bye. Okay, here we go. Going to the new lessons on technology. While on patrol in Makatsui, I came across an unusual pair talking to each other. So what do you do next? Okay, like, I kind of actually love this version of Hajun's sprite. Like, it's like, just like, he almost in a disheveled kind of suit thing going on with the slick back hair, but like, he just looks so pretty right now. It's like this side, it's not quite, it's not really a 3/4 profile, but it's almost a side profile, you know what I mean? It's like in between. But like, I don't know. It just works for him. Because normally you're like, okay, there's nothing wrong with him, but I'm not like, yes. But this one I'm like, yeah, no, I like this. If your sprite always stayed like this, I like it. Anyway, so you've done the fingerprint registration, so now Yakumo and Hajun? Oh, and everyone else too. Huh? The hell is this? It's not moving anymore. Did you put in your password right? I didn't really get it, so I just put whatever. You're an idiot. My apologies, Yakumo. Shuten seems to have messed something up. Oh, right. I'll be right over. Halt! I will not allow you to leave my side until I can awaken my Monster Go-Go. Are they playing Pokemon Go? Is that what this is? What? Hajun, please don't raise a fuss. Shuten and Ibaraki are waiting as well. Huh. Of course I know that, but as the Shirai, I have a reason to be the first to sign a contract with the King of Monsters! You have no such reason. If you can't play nicely with everyone else, you must be punished, even if you are a Shirai. The funniest part is he doesn't have, like, horns or anything. He looks absolutely nothing like an Ayakashi. He doesn't look like an Oni. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Are you sure? I feel like we're being fucking punked here. No, I do! Yakumo here is teaching me to... What's that sound? Ah! Yakumo, Shuten was being idiot and broke his. No, I didn't! All I did was hit it a little, thinking it'd wig this thing up! Oh my god, wait, are they playing Tamagotchis? What is happening here? This thing? As in the device? No, like I said, it doesn't function like... Yakumo, clearly in a panic at this point, noticed my presence, looking at me with sparkling eyes. He's such a fucking puppet. Are you okay? Sorry, you seem busy, so I didn't really know when I should call out to you. No, you really came at a good time. Some new devices came in from the real world today, so I distributed them and I'm helping them out. Yakumo, make me wait no further. So dramatic. Hajun. I can't possibly collect the monsters in Monster Go-Go at this state! You'll be fine, Hajun. You can boot up the app right away. As he pacified Hajun, Yakumo went back to explain things to him. I guess I just need to help out here then. My apologies for the disruption. Hajun's been quite engrossed into Monster Go-Go lately. He likes new things after all. Don't worry about it. Are you okay too, Shuten? The hell I am! I just killed my Go-Go Maru with my own hands! I told you so many times before, the device isn't a living creature. But it cries to call me over and it gets dark and goes to sleep when it's tired. Is it a Furby? What the fuck is going on? It's like a cross between Pokemon Go, a Tamagotchi, and a Furby. I don't know what's going on. Wow, so that's what he thinks. Spacey, do you think it's possible for me to repair Shuten's device? The device in Shuten's hand is The device in Shuten's hand had its screen broken and was in a clearly terrible state. I think we'll have to leave it to a specialist to fix this. Although it looks like just the screen is broken. It should be fine if we just change out that part. Oh, nice. Then I'll just play with Dendenmaru the second for now. So is this his third generation of devices? Although this should be expected, as Ayakashi aren't quite used to electronics normally. Is this your third one as well, Akuro? And this is my first. Oh, I see. Did you decide to have one because you wanted to play games too? I'm not as good at games as everyone else. It's just that Hajun becomes fussy, demanding we play co-op with him, so I asked Yakumo for help. Okay, why is Hajun the shooter? He is like the biggest fucking baby. You have Shiratsuki, who's just like a little full of himself. But so far, I mean, he seems like, whatever! But he's actually pretty good at his job and like, whatever. Although it gets into a little bit of mischief and Coco still has to like wrangle him in. And then you have freaking, what's his name? That's like, just completely fucking doesn't want to do anything. And Takao has to do everything. And then now you have Hajun, who's just like a big fucking baby. Like, what the hell? Why are all the Shirais fucking useless? I kind of like that they're not perfect. They're not like, I am in charge of it. They're like, I whine and I don't do anything. And they're all just like, they're all a fucking mess in a little bit of a way, you know? Because, like, even if you were like, I am the manager, you're like, some days I don't know what the fuck is happening. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Oh, I see. When Sami recommended I have one, I was interested, but his ulterior motive to call for me when he wanted was quite clear, so I declined. I'll ask Sami to try not to bother you so much, Akuro. Thank you very much. It would be troublesome to be called over unnecessarily. I understand. I'll let him know. Is there anything you don't understand? You wanted to install a game on here, right? I can have Hajun teach me about the game later. He's adamant about Yakumo explaining everything to him because he wants to be our instructor. I can imagine. If I recall, there's a story about Oda Nobunaga being the one to teach his troops how to use firearms. Then, as for something else to teach you... Oh, do you know how to use email? Email... You could send messages through the device. You might call it mechanized writing. Shuten and the Snow Woman use it, I believe. It would be convenient to learn how to as well. Yes, I'm sure. Would you like to try? Yes. Oh, he looks so angry! The CG is cute. She's got kind of like her derpy child eyes. Like, most of the time they're fine, but this one she kind of looks like a child puppet. Like, but I love how angry he looks, though. He's like, he's just concentrating, but he looks so mad. Aw. Peering into the device that Akuro gripped in his hand, I explained the steps to him. Oh, you don't have a password set. Password? It's like a lock you put on your device. I don't think there's an Ayakashi that would dare steal a look at anything you have, so it's fine. Use your fingerprint, then you don't have to forget it. Like Shuten being like, I don't understand. I don't remember what my fingerprint is. Put your thumb on here, idiot. Like, now about the email. You touch this image that looks like an envelope. I look at Akuro to notice a very strained and tense look on his face. Whoa, his face is way scarier than usual. I know, it really is. Is something the matter? I just thought of how I might break it as Shuten did out of carelessness. Do you think it'll be alright? It's actually pretty sturdy, so I think it'll be fine if used normally. And besides, you were able to properly fix my alarm clock without breaking it, remember? You can handle detailed work, so you'll be fine. Just don't get angry and punch it. Akuro timidly stretched out his finger and after hesitating a few times, carefully touched the email icon. The thing is... Oh, God. If you are old like me and you remember the first time, like, Most people are going to be like, I was like 6 when I got my first smartphone. Like, you don't count. Shut up. Go sit in the back, child. This is not what we're talking about. When you are already an adult and you are used to, like, first of all, when you got your first actual cell phone, it was like, freaking, cases, everything. They were bricks, okay? I'm not talking about, like, the 80s ones. I'm talking about, like, well, I mean, even those, but, like, they were like, okay, you could literally, the old Nokia phone, like, you're not kidding. You could run that fucking thing over with a car. It was fine. But, like, when you got your first, when you went from having those or, like, the little flip phones were like, like, right, to an actual smartphone, it was like, it was exactly like this. Like, you were like, oh, I'm going to touch it and break it. But at the same time, you were like, so I'd, it was so it's weird. It's really weird, just like this. He is like, I am going to break it if I touch it. And you know he's like, okay, it's weird. But the same fucking thing when you get your first smartphone and you're used to, like, pushing buttons on other things and, like, literally, like, you could chuck your other phone into a fucking lake. You could just chuck it into anything and if it's fine. And this one, you're like, you barely touch it and you're like, is it gonna break? Now, meanwhile, you juggle your phone, it falls down the stairs, and you're like, it's either fine, but if you sneeze too hard on it, the screen shatters. You never know how it's going to work with these things anymore. But, man, those first ones, that first time you switched from, like, ding, 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 like actual buttons to, like, a smartphone was like, the fuck is happening? And this just gave me, like, the nostalgia moment when he's like, carefully reaching out to push the button. Also, because OG cell phone days, you accidentally hit the internet button and you're like, it's gonna be $3,000. Now you're like, so, like, the first time you were like, I can actually hit the email or the interwebs button and I have Wi-Fi and it's fine. I'm not gonna be charged $72 just for looking at it. It's still that, oh my god. So I get the hesitation, man. There's something about it that just gives me those nostalgia feels for back in the day, the first touchscreen where you're like, okay, wait, what? like there's a part of you that's totally like, yeah, it's touchscreen technology, whatever. And then there's another part of you that's like, what kind of magic? Is it gonna break if I touch it? Like, you're like in the two realms, you know? Yes, technology, of course. And then, oh my god, it's wizards. There are little wizards living in this box. Anyway. Young kids just don't really get it because you've always lived with wizards in the little magic boxes. But some of us are old and we're like, wait, there's wizards in the boxes? People make fun of me at work sometimes. Like, oh, black and white TV. I'm like, I know what a fucking black and white TV is, okay? I also know the TVs where you had to get up and turn the fucking dial and there were only 3 channels. I'm not that old, but I remember those because, like, hi, you know, like, still. Oh my god. Anyway. I remember pre-flat screen TVs, bitch. I had a black and white TV growing up as a kid. Because, like, our first TV was, like, a black and white TV that we passed around. You had a black and white TV, and it had the little click dial, and you got, like, 4 channels. And you were allowed to have that in your room. It was like, you have a TV in your room, here you go. At a certain age, and then you got to another, like, my parents were like that. And it was like, when you hit a certain age, that's when you could have a phone in your room. You got a certain age, that's when you got, like, you know, your actual color TV in your room. Or then, oh, now you can have a VCR. I remember getting a stereo and being like, I want a CD player because they're, like, new. Oh my god, I remember when CDs were invented. Holy fucking shit. I am so fucking old. Oh my god. Okay, you know, we gotta keep going before I just, like, fall off my bouncy ball and hurt myself. Because I'm old. So a fall of 2 inches will fucking hurt me and probably break something. Anyway. So he's crazy. See? It didn't break, right? And to be honest, I'm actually not very dexterous. I'm only able to do the tinkering of devices and repairs of goods simply because I'm used to it, and because I can manage if I take my time. Take all the time you need to learn this. It won't be harder than fixing machinery. Alright. This is so adorable, though. She's like, it's okay, sweetie. I finally finished writing. Is this alright? The email screen he showed me was adorable as it was written only in hiragana, You know, it's true. 2 hours later. Hello.
Yes, since you put in the effort, would you like to practice sending it too?
And send these messages out.
Right. Shuten and the others use email too, right?
Yes, Iburagi contacts Shuten regarding errands.
I did imagine Iburagi was completely capable of using it, and I was exactly right.
The funniest thing is, okay, so they're like cell phones, basically, or like what I'm assuming. You know, okay, here you go. Here is your cellular device. But you can't use it to call people. Because reasons, I guess. But you can send email because we have the internet? Do we have the internet? I mean, we gotta have something because Sammy can call us, we can call people, and we're not using walkie-talkies. We're actually using cell phones. So, like, but we're teaching him how to use email, which you're sending. It's electronic. You have to have, like, but so, like, is there, like, Wi-Fi running around here? Is that, like, is there literally, like, oh my god, Wi-Fi is just, it's not some kind of science. It's literally an Ayakashi who's just like, I just sit here and grab your mail in the digital world and drag it over here. Like, I mean, seriously? Like, there's literally magic wizards living in your, like, how are they doing it? I guess we're not supposed to question it because it's like, there's really no plot here. It's just hanging out with hot dudes and, like, in a magical world and just email, I guess, whatever. Also, they're hunting monsters. But doesn't somebody for Pokemon have to, like, or is it just, like, automatic? I don't know how it works, but I just, so you think that they're going to be running around Sakuratani and there's going to be, like, Pokemon around? I mean, sure, but, like, I shouldn't question it. We're not supposed to.
He was explaining to Shuten how to use it too. How about asking someone for their contact information so you can send them a message? She's so stupid.
I love her, but she's dumb right now. She should have been like, here, we'll practice. Here, put my information and practice sending me an email. It's like, why don't you ask someone for their contact? Girl.
You could have gotten his digits. She's an idiot.
Then, may I send one to you?
Huh? Me? Like, that would have been my God, she's so not fly.
Yes, you have one as well, correct? And may I ask for your contact information?
All right, this is it. I take out my device and show him the screen, and Akado's expression.
Wow! Tenses up again. I suspect this may take me some time. This may take some time for me. Tim needs to stop testing sake before he types.
I can enter it in for you.
I want to improve this skill, so I'll be fine. Please wait just a moment more.
Akado began entering it in himself for practice. Does he actually not like to lose? After a staring contest with the device, he finally raises his face.
If I didn't make any mistakes, I believe I was able to send it. Did it arrive?
Could you imagine he gets the number wrong because you're like Spacey 123 and he sends it to Spacey 124 by accident, and then you're Spacey 124 and you get this weird message and you're like, huh, okay, it's in Japanese, but like whatever, Google Translate, right? And then you're like, Sakuratani Ayakashi, what? The fuck is that? And then you think it's a weird fever dream, and then and then like freaking the Men in Black show up. I can zap your memory. Or they just don't know. They're like, there's just emails out there talking about Ayakashi and weird shit. And like, and then that makes you wonder about the kids. You're like, this weird conspiracy theory shit. Maybe it's all true because maybe they've gotten emails from like aliens. You don't know. Maybe the aliens don't know how to type email addresses either. We have fun here. Let me check. Here it is. I felt happy his email arrived, likely because I was so close beside him watching over his efforts.
No, it's because you're in love with him and you're happy he asked for your digits, bitch. Well, you know your email.
Oh, good. I'll read out what you wrote. Let's see.
Thank you very much for teaching me. He types like an 80-year-old grandma typing on the computer for the first time. Where is the space? Thank you very much for teaching me. I understood everything you wrote, but I also realized I forgot to teach him about spaces. How is it? Is there anything strange about it? Well, actually, the strange thing is, in Japanese, there are no spaces. So, like... right, well... No, I can't. He worked so hard. I can't laugh at this. But his clumsy writing was just so cute, and my cheeks loosened into a smile. This was a bit difficult to do. No, you're happy. Come on. Yeah. I'm really happy. I'll teach you more again in the future. All right. I feel I've understood the fun in sending emails now, thanks to you. Yeah, all right. The data transfer is complete now. You can play Monster Go-Go now, Hajun. Well done, Yakumo. All right, Akuro. Let me explain to you all about what this is now. Yeah, he doesn't have horns. I don't, for a second, like, it's just, stop, dude. Are you sure? I don't think you're an Ayakashi. Yes, please do. Spacey, thank you very much. I hope you'll lend me your aid in the future as well. Yes, of course. With that, Akuro carries his device in a single hand, heading over to the excitable Hajun. It felt a bit lonely watching him go, wishing I could teach Akuro just a little bit longer. Akuro was so cute, trying his hardest. I looked down toward the email, full of mistakes, and I couldn't help but smile again. Before, I thought Akuro's face looked so scary, but my heart was full of warmth thinking about it. Maybe if you're writing all in hiragana, you would put spaces, but if you're writing in kanji and stuff, you don't really have spaces. Because it's like a combo? I don't know. I just know when you're doing that you don't really actually worry about spaces because you can read it without spaces. You know what I mean? Because the separation is in the words is like, here's the kanji with like, might have hiragana on it, and then, or whatever, and then the next word might be in katakana, for example, and then like, but you know where it is, like, because you know the words. So if you're writing, or maybe if you're writing all in hiragana, you need spaces? I don't know. I didn't think you really did, so I'm just kind of curious. Obviously, in this sense, thank you very much for teaching me. Ha ha ha, there's no spaces. Makes absolute sense in English, but I'm wondering what it was in Japanese. You know what I mean? That she was like, oh, I totally forgot to teach him about this. And I think the only reason it popped in my head is because she's like, oh, it was all written in hiragana. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Like, they didn't translate that, but then they kind of, Sometimes they, like, their choices are odd. Anyway. Before I thought Akuro's face looked so scary, but my heart was full of warmth thinking about it. Oh, weird nostalgia trips today. Map select 4, so we're gonna go with Akuro again, but we are at time anyway, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.